Greetings, Mind Crafters, and welcome to another delightful Minecraft episode on this glorious November day. My name is Kimberly Quinn, and I just love doing these podcasts. I have to tell you, if I didn't, I wouldn't be doing them, quite honestly, because I'm so I kind of ride with high octane passion. That's how I'm driven. So, as of right now, I am super stoked to spread the positivity in this way. It's so much fun for me. Giovanni is right next to me taking a snooze, and I usually like to just describe the atmosphere so we can get a visual, because I feel like obviously it wouldn't be possible to fit all of you in my living room, but I kind of feel like that when I'm doing these podcasts. I feel like we're having this just intimate conversation in my living room, and it's so nice. So I like to describe the what's like the weather and things so that people can visualize on your ends, because you might be wherever in the world, right, with a whole different environment. So it's November, so in Vermont, it's also rifle season. So that means stay the heck out of the woods, or you're taking your life in your hands. And so Giovanni and I reside in the woods every morning. So we've been going up to Jay Peak, which is a local ski resort, and doing a shorter walk, but we're grateful for it. We're very grateful for it in on a ski slope, sort of wedged in between condos. And obviously, hunters aren't allowed to shoot near, people. And there's hardly anybody up there because it's November and there's not a lot of snow. And so it's like stick season. It's beautiful, and it's actually very mild temperature right now. Not great for the ski resorts. Um, but it's just a super nice day outside. So anyway, I'd like to yeah, I was saying, I like to keep my podcast personal, so that's kind of why I start out that way. People might say, "Where's she going with this?" Well, I'm trying to give you the visual because on my end, I'm enjoying all of you, so that's what that's about. All right. So the topic today is what I really want to talk about. I've been talking about decluttering and minimalism, and then essentialism, with which doesn't have to do well. It does have to do with stuff, definitely, but that has to do more with what's important now in this moment. So basically it's about really focusing on what's important all the way around, with stuff, with our tasks, with all of this. And now this leads to the topic today, which is about reminding ourselves that we can't take it with us. And so my inspiration for today is Richard Carlson, PhD. He is the author of these "Don't Sweat the Small Stuff" books. I don't know how many of them there are, but I own at least four. And there are don't the original "Don't Sweat the Small Stuff." This one is "Don't Sweat the Small Stuff with Your Family." "Don't Sweat the Small Stuff in Love." I own that one, so that's three. And there's "Don't Sweat the Small Stuff with Money," which I own, but I loaned to somebody years ago. When I loan books, I'm sort of grateful when they come back, but it's kind of like they say, like when you loan money to family or friends, just count it as you know, a pay it forward and let it go. So when I loan books, they come back, they come back, they don't, they don't, they found a home. So that one's been gone for a while, and that's okay. So this idea, and it's also very timely for me. And as you know, when I do these podcasts, often it's something I need to do in that day, or maybe even a more of a work in progress. This is more of a today thing, because the house feels upside down right now, because my husband and I have both been just doing big things, big exciting things. It's not a situation of, oh, poor us. It's a situation of blessed us. We have had so much going on. And the dishes currently, I have a thing with waking up the dishes, but I was all excited doing something passion oriented last night, and so there they are. And this so Richard Carlson kind of, it reminds us that it doesn't mean don't clean the bathroom, doesn't mean leave the pile of dishes there for 3 days. It doesn't mean same thing with the laundry, or that hole in the sheetrock we have to patch up, or whatever. It means, though, to balance it out. And so he starts out by saying, "Unless you know something I don't, when you die, you will leave your home and all of your possessions behind." Despite this rather obvious observation, many of us fail to live as if this were true. Instead, we spend a huge amount of our time and energy tending to dusting, caring for, purchasing, insuring, protecting, taking care of, showing off our stuff as if it had some lasting value. Oh my gosh, I love this because on a million levels, we talk about the stuff. And actually, since it's November, this is actually currently, these often go out a couple weeks later, but actually this one is going to be published next couple days. So it's the middle of November, so the holiday buzz and pressure and fast vibe is here too. And um, I think Christmas and Hanukkah, I think it starts December 7th. I don't know, it's early in December, I think the 7th. But no matter what, then we have Jewish friends, and our Jewish friends say that Hanukkah's not their big one. It's I mean, they love Hanukkah. They enjoy Hanukkah with their family and friends and things like that. And but they say Yom Kippur and Rosh Hashanah are their main focus. At least our friends say that. And um, Christmas has a whole different. It's like a little ocean wave compared to a tidal wave. I mean, it's just the marketing and the fast pace and the expectations and all that is just so big. So this is also timely with the time of year it is. Like I think it works whenever, but I think especially at this time of year, it's the value of this discussion is really, really, really amped up. So then Richard Carlson, PhD, says he talks about how incredibly helpful it is to remind ourselves that we can't take things with us. I mean, and it's probably not something we like to think about, but it is, a fact for everyone. And he says he talks about that he's not suggesting that you shouldn't enjoy the things while you're here. I mean, of course, that's the whole purpose of things, right? If things is to get joy from them in that moment, and then when they cease to have meaning, move them on to regift. People have regifting is such a taboo. I don't get why. I mean, really, if you don't, I mean, I'm not talking about hurting people's feelings. Hopefully, they don't know. But if you, I actually have a beautiful brand new scarf in my drawer that I have every intention of regifting during this holiday season. And it was given to me and it's gorgeous. It still has the tags on, but I don't wear scarves. It's not like a scarf, winter scarf. I actually don't wear winter scarves either. So I'm a skier and that would hang you from a chairlift. It's really not even safe. But this is more of a fashion scarf. And I just don't do scarves. I mean, it's gorgeous. It was thoughtful. But regifting that is a great idea because if it goes to someone who's going to appreciate it, why not? Right? And so, because we can't take stuff with us, what are you hanging on to it for? I've known people that, in fact, my husband held on to this. It was the name was like London Fog or one of those, high end Ralph Lauren. I don't know. I think it was a London Fog tweed like suit, not suit, but like a professor jacket sort of, and it was beige. And with my husband's skin, it washed him right into the wall. And I don't even usually notice things like that, but it was just not his color. It was, and he hung on to it because the person who gave it to him was a family member and important to him, but he was never going to wear it in his lifetime. And after 2 years went by with it sitting in the closet, usually I wouldn't do this, but I couldn't help myself. I gave it to um, the consignment shop. I just gave it away. I think I just gave it to the thrift store up in the town next to us. I didn't even get any money for, didn't even ask for it. I gave it away, and which I usually wouldn't do, but he's a pack rat. He's like Ratatouille. So somebody can really make use of this who maybe is in a different place financially, or they just like it or whatever, and he never to this day doesn't even know, didn't notice, and that was like 20 years ago. So so there you go. So that also fits into our conversation. So he says, so enjoy the things, maybe not the tweed jacket that washes you into the wall with your color wheel going on, but somebody gives you something meaningful. And then when it's some things like a wedding band or something, obviously it's totally different, but other things, knickknacks and things like that, they lose their pizzazz after a while. At least for me, they do. So he said to ask yourself, what's really important here? And there's that woman who wrote that book. She starts with an M. I can't remember. Anyway, basically, if it doesn't bring you joy, what's the point of keeping it, right? So then he says, ask questions like, what's really most important here, which also might be the doing part, like me with the dishes today. And I got to do the dishes, but I'm gonna be mindful and enjoy that experience, and then move on. I don't need to do the entire kitchen and scrub the oven and all that because I've got fun things planned today, mainly lots of filming. So ask questions like, is it absolutely necessary that the bathroom get cleaned this very minute, or is it important and more nurturing to take a walk with my, my husband, wife, partner, uh, dog, child, and with me, the woods is going to win out 99% of the time. I'll just tell you that right here and now. So it doesn't mean don't clean the bathroom. It just means, and there are also levels of cleaning. If you have company coming, you might want to amp it up a little bit, but sanitary is the main thing, right? Sanitary is the most important thing, and it doesn't have to be pristine every second of every day. It just doesn't. And just think of all those valuable life minutes, just dissipating into the universe that we're polishing behind picture frames that no one is going to ever notice in this lifetime anyway. If you're trying to sell your house, okay, you have company maybe you're not as comfortable with, and that's still a very gray area for me, because when people come here, my husband and I are clean. I don't want to send the wrong message here. I just don't personally care what's underneath the refrigerator or behind the oven. I just can't see it. So it's, below my knees or above my eye level, not so much, as long as it's clean and sanitary, like kitchens and bathrooms clean and sanitary. But as far as dust bunnies under the couch, that's like a spring cleaning thing. Who looks under the couch? Loretta LaRoche does this thing. Oh my gosh, she's so funny. She has since passed, I think, a few years ago, in her 90s. What a fantastic comedian from Brooklyn, and her accent is such a breath of fresh air and just like a warm blanket for me, just hearing her New York accent. And she talked about growing up in Brooklyn when her mother was constantly saying, "We got to get it done. We got to get it done." The dust bunnies under the couch, cleaning under the bed, in the closets that no one looks, in probably even months go by. They don't look in there. Stop, because somebody could stop by. They could stop by. Who's they? No one even knew who they was. They could stop by to check things that you haven't done. And it's all so ridiculous. We can do the necessary. Like I said, the sanitary part is definitely important. After that, washing screens, the water just goes right through. I never really did see the point in that anyway. But this is the point of is we can't take it with us. We cannot take it with us. And it goes right back to that life minute budget. Set aside a few life minutes in your budget to whip through the bathroom to get it in decent shape, and then walk in the woods. Do something. Have tea, something. And then Richard goes on to say, he talks about guaranteeing. He says, I can almost guarantee you that someday you'll look back on your life and you'll be less interested in how many items and achievements you were able to collect than in how much you were able to express love, spend time with the people you care about most, and contribute to the world you live in. I love that so much. And that brings me to interesting, because her birthday just went by in November. My husband's great Nana Smith, I think her birthday was November 4th. Anyway, oh my gosh, so fabulous. I just have to paint a picture of her for you so you can get a visual. Gorgeous olive skin, and probably one of the most beautiful women, like beautiful 80, when she was 80. She had a gray fox. She could wear gray hair better than most women I've ever seen, with that, against that kind of light brown skin, just gorgeous. Had a Zsa Zsa Gabor bow pulling her hair back most of the time, so just gray hair accentuating her gorgeous brown skin. And she was heavy set. She was little chubbums, because she loved to eat and didn't care. And and I don't know if I've ever seen anybody enjoy food so much. And she wore these like fuchsia capes. So when she walked in, she had the biggest smile on, very put together. Again, beautiful woman. And I remember on her 80th birthday, and we were down in Massachusetts, and she was sitting with us, and I went up to her. I had her to myself for a little bit, which wasn't easy because the whole family was there. And I said, "Great, Nana." Actually, sorry, Nana to my husband. Our kid's great, great Nana. And I said, "Nana, you're 80 years old. What advice would you give to the rest of us?" And of course, we were much, much, much younger then. And she kind of looked. She kind of did this. Hmm. She looked to the left, looked to the right, and then she said, "Well, I'll tell you. I would spend a lot less time apologizing. Say it when you mean it, and the rest of all of it, let all the rest go. We spend way too much of time apologizing. So there's that. And clean the bathroom a whole lot less. She said, do it when it needs it. That's it. So there's the thing. Stop apologizing so much and clean the bathroom less. It only needs so much of a sweep, and that's it. And I thought, wow, think about over it wouldn't be over the whole 80 years, right? 'Cause you're not cleaning bathrooms when you're 3 years old. But let's just say teenager on up, right? That'd be like 65 years if you're cleaning your own bathroom. 50, maybe that's even young. Let's say 18, because if you're on your own, probably not at 18, but you're doing the jobs around the house. So 62 years. Imagine the life minutes that are saved when you do the sweep when it's necessary and not overdoing it or overdoing the dishes or the dust bunnies under the couch or behind the refrigerator where no one is ever going to look. Really, the only time we look behind the refrigerator, at least in this house, is when we buy a new one. Because then they have to take the old one out to put the new one in. Otherwise, who cares? Not me. Same thing with the oven. Once the oven's in there, then you're set. You're off the hook. So I just thought that was something really sort of fun to share with you. So then he says that acknowledging this truth right now can help you prioritize your goals and your time in a way that nurtures your spirit. It can be the difference between a superficial life and a life of substance. Oh, sing it to me, brother, because and part of what we do in Minecraft and part of it's just it's a positive psychology thing also is to spend money on experiences rather than stuff. I mean, some stuff there's time for it, right? I love perfume it on my birthday, which was like the same general week, birthday and Christmas, but I love when my husband gets me perfume. I love to smell nice, and it just the aromas, but I don't need the new sweaters. I don't need, just let's go do something. Let's go snowshoeing. Let's um just I love to go out to lunch. That's my favorite. And lunch and snowshoeing, that's a great day right there. So to spend money on experiences rather than stuff. And I'll tell you, I'm so looking forward to this Thanksgiving. I look forward to Thanksgiving every year. We've got our kids are flying in, and spending the money to get the hotels because um, for everybody and all the things that we help out with, and we have this whole routine with. We have a great family. My husband's whole side of the family is amazing, and one host one night, one host the other night. Then we're taking all of our kids out for our son's birthday dinner. I don't even. Who cares what that who cares if I put that on my credit card because it's all the kids and it's our family and it just feels so good. It just feels so good and I'm so blessed and feel so grateful that we're able to go out to dinner with our kids. I mean, it's such a huge, big, fat blessing. And I'd much rather do that than anything else. Anything else. I don't forget new comforters. I'd rather keep the same old ratty one, the same old, the same old, whatever. And have that awesome time with our family. So Richard Carlson, PhD, then sort of wraps this up when he says, he talks about how important the home is. Your home is an important part of your life. He says you live in your home, you spend a great deal of time there, you eat meals, share with family and friends, and rest all at home. When I think about, I'm looking over to my right with this big open scheme due to the fact that I impulsively had our wonderful Sean, who did the kitchen, bust through a wall very spontaneously. We both just looked at it and said that has to go. So anyway, wide open scheme. And I'm looking over at our dining room table right now, and when I think of all that we've been here since the year 2001, and when I think of all the times, the kids sitting at the tables, our family dinners, all the times because we have a huge extended family, we've wedged tables and chairs and moved the couch around and everything to everybody be able to sit and see, to be able to play Trivial Pursuit, and the buzz and the mess the day after. I mean, everybody helps clean up. There's a lot of people. And there was a while where I just left it there. The table just had empty wine glasses and crunched up napkins. I actually even took a picture of it once and put it on Facebook just because I was all emotional. Just looking at the candles down to nubs, and again, empty wine glasses and crumbs, and a piece of pie that was left out, and oh my gosh. And you just look at the remnants of the time, that of the celebratory time, the energy, the love, the laughter, the just the insane Trivial Pursuit games, and it was the aftermath, the after the table afterward just told a story. It told a story. When I look over to the dining room now, there's volumes and volumes and volumes of stories that dining room table tells. And so the home is super important. No one's saying that. He just says it's critical to remember, however, that the love we share in our home is what's most important. Amen, brother. Not the home itself, not the stuff. It's if something gets broken or needs repair, so be it. If the house is a mess or disorganized, do the best you can. Keep your reactions in perspective. Um, he says your things in your home are here to enjoy and make your life easier and more comfortable, but don't give them the authority to overwhelm you. That is a great statement because, of course, in Minecraft we talk a lot about thoughts first, feelings second, actions and behaviors third. So you can't feel overwhelmed unless you allow overwhelmed thoughts. That's a fact, Jack, as they say. So I like how he brings that into perspective, because I'm doing all these things about declutter. So we're not saying keep it cluttered. We're saying create a budget of life minutes where you spend so much time on said task. You don't have to. We're not looking for perfection. That's for darn sure. The P word is horrible. I haven't even allowed it in this house. So does the floor have to be, again, perfect, quote unquote? No, we're just going to walk on it again. The bed, if we when we get out and make it, is going to be slept in again, thankfully. So we don't need hospital corners or military bounce the quarter on the bed. That's what we're talking about. But to keep the stuff minimalized, that definitely helps out the head, because clutter on the outside causes clutter on the inside. We're just saying keep it in perspective. You don't want to spend any more time than you have to cleaning the bathroom or doing the dishes, and enjoy it while you're doing it, being mindful and being in your body and enjoying taking care of your home for that allotted time that you've given said task. All right, awesome. And I have to say to all of you, in addition to thanking you all for listening and choosing to spend your life minutes to be here listening to the Minecraft podcast and doing whatever else, or if you're doing your cleaning thing like we just talked about and listening, that's awesome. I just want to tell you how much I already said that I enjoy this, but sometimes I enjoyed it. I enjoy doing each and every one of them. Sometimes I just feel even more in the zone, and this was one of those times. This just rolled out of me, and I just had to tell you that what a great way, to sort of use or spend my life minutes today. So that's it. Just know that I really got a charge out of this one. So, all right, this is Kimberly Quinn signing off from the beautiful northern Vermont in November during rifle season. Have a mindful day.